it such a gift to give? That is what the theme, our day 4 is about. And it's the whole reason I started this 12 days of giving. It just felt right. I even said to my beloved, I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to sell anything. I'm just going to come on and share a beautiful transmission every single day. And it was so funny because the first day there was things that naturally just wanted to come out because of course I want to share. I want to share about my sessions and my opportunities. And then at the same time I was like, I want to share like, oh yeah, I have a holiday bundle, or oh, there's a winter solstice special. And where it's just naturally flowed through, I haven't blocked my channel. But the intention was to give. My hair's a bit wild today. My intention was to give because giving activates the flow of abundance, and it's for all of us. And that's why the Christmas season, the Hanukkah holiday, all of the holidays where we give gifts, like people's birthdays, anytime we give, it's not just for the person we're giving to, it's for ourselves. It's one of the most beautiful things that we can do. It activates our power, which is also a little reminder for you to be a good receiver, because there's no better way to give than when you witness someone respond. Now, of course, you don't give so that someone could be like, oh my God, I love it. It's the best. Thank you so much. Of course not, right? You're giving from that place of like genuine, like, oh my gosh, I want to give this to people, or I want to give this gift to a person. And it's not about anything material, right? Sometimes like the best gifts are handmade, or the best gift is even something you own that is your precious treasure that you then gift to someone else because they said like, oh, I love that. And you're like, oh, you love it? You can have it. And like, what if you did that? What if when someone complimented something, you were like, you can have it, right? And then you saw the response to the person like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, right? That actually has happened to me a few times in my life where I've shared a compliment, like a genuine compliment with someone, and then they gifted me the very thing I was complimenting. And it brought so much joy to my life. It brought joy to their life. And I feel that, hello, I see some of you coming on and saying hi. And just a reminder, if you're catching the replay to this, the 12 days of giving, you can share your comments and questions, or just what you feel in response to what I share, how it resonates with you in the comment section of every video. And I created this 12 days of giving because I really wanted to give back to the community. This is a time, like I shared in day 1, this can be an amazing time for some people. Some people love the holiday season. And it can also be a challenging time because we're in the darkest days of the year. We're in the solstice time. It's the death time. So naturally, anyone who is in the part of the hemisphere, the northern hemisphere, where it's winter, you'll feel a natural desire to want to go inward, to maybe even isolate a little, to meditate, go within, and heal. And it's the natural season that we're in. So just honor what you feel, honor your flow. And that's usually why we see this time of year. It's about like cozying up by the fire, right? And we wear sweaters, and it's that time to slow down, that stillness. So there's like such a big paradox that happens during this time. And the act of giving is part of abundance. As you guys know, I have my abundance code, and giving is not one of them, but the grander version of giving, which I feel is generosity, is an abundance code. And that's actually the next one that's going to be released in time. And today I just felt called to remind you of the power when you give because you really desire to, and not because you have to or because it's the holidays. So part of where the Christmas holiday and all of the material holidays, I should say, right? Because a lot were created, like Valentine's Day, and what are other like material holidays? I mean, Christmas turned into a very material holiday. Obviously, it's rooted in religion, but even like some of the myths about Santa Claus and stuff, that actually really doesn't have anything to do with religion. It had to do with this idea of gifting and giving. And when we tap into more of this energy of giving, it lights up everyone and it activates the flow of abundance. And remember to be a good receiver as well for those who give to you. And giving is something that's passed forward. So when you give to someone and you're truly giving from your heart, you don't expect anything in return. You don't expect them to love it or not, but ideally when you're giving to someone, you're thoughtful about it and you choose something that the person would really love, or you think they would love. Even if they don't, like, you know, you did your best. And I want you to know that it really works, because my intention for this live series was literally to give without attachment, to give without any intention to like sell or try to get anything, and literally just give. Choose, download what would come that day and give. And literally as soon as I hung up my first live, I had an inbox from someone that was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I needed to hear today. I've been wondering how to help people in my life that are feeling the same exact thing you're talking about. And you just put into words what I've been feeling and I haven't quite been able to say. And I was like, oh my gosh, mission accomplished. And I was so happy to receive that message. It was a gift to me. So my heartfelt giving, without attachment, without it making it mean anything, without having ulterior motives, that opened up the floodgates for a beautiful exchange to touch someone's heart. And this kind of giving from that place of devotion. And it's not about, like I said, it's not about anything material. It's like the more thoughtful, the better. And sometimes, that's why I love that Mariah Carey song, like All I Want for Christmas Is You, because I think sometimes people get lost in the materialism of this holiday and they want to buy the most expensive thing or the most number of gifts, or there's like these ulterior egoic pride energies behind what is given and why it is given, whether it's like to show off or I don't know, all these reasons why people give not from the true heartfelt authentic place. And so you maybe already got all your presents. You maybe, did everything you did. And I invite you, like if there's anything left that you can give or that you're still thinking about presents, or you have opportunities to still give, and you really do all the time, right? Not just in this Christmas holiday. I really invite you to think like, okay, well, if I'm giving just to give from the beautiful gift of giving with no ulterior motives, without ego, what is it that I would give? And you might be surprised by the answer, and it might be something completely different than you got. So that's the other thing too. I also feel like when you give a gift, you do want to give a gift that the person wants, but I also feel like it needs to align with you. So for example, as many of you know, I live a more alternative lifestyle, you can say, compared to the masses. And I'm more about organic, natural living. I am less about materialism. I'm really mindful even about plastics. Like I really prefer like conscious gifts. And for most of my gifts, I often give people crystals blessed with intentions and light language. And maybe it's not always what they want, but it's a gift that everyone can benefit from and receive from. And what was funny is I'm just remembering this now actually. In 2014, I was on a reality show, and on the reality show, I would get requests from people. They would want me to like bless rocks and mail it to them. And I didn't quite understand that, but now I understand that, because when you put your heartfelt intention, like a blessing, you give a blessing to someone, like the crystal is a high vibrational object that when in your field will only support you in raising your frequency and vibration. So then when you put even more healing intentions and blessings into it, and then have it be specifically for a person, wow, like what a heartfelt gift. Like that's a one-of-a-kind gift. And so though Even sometimes when and over time it's shifted, like, when I give to my nieces and nephews, I sometimes would check in of like, okay, what are they really into right now? So that I do give the gift that they really want to receive. And I still make the choices for which one feels most aligned for me. So if it's not something that feels aligned, I can't buy it, right? And then, of course, there have been gifts. I remember, I don't know if she ever used it, but I remember getting my nephew like this beautiful, it was to help him learn like letters and alphabets and all these things. You're supposed to put it up on their wall in the room. And so it had like a lot of pieces to it. So I'm not sure if it was ever used, but I know that had it been, like, that would have been so incredible for his development, right? But I didn't ask because it wasn't about that. Like, I know I did my part as a conscious aunt and like gave the gift that I would have loved for my child to receive, And so there's that balance, right? There's that balance of feeling into, okay, is this a great gift? And this is what you can ask yourself. Is this gift for the highest and best good for this person? All right, and if the answer is yes or no. Is this gift coming from devotion to love, to our highest selves? Is this gift coming from my heart, or is it coming from my ego? And then you see what comes out. So this is a really fun game to play with yourself. And I really invite you to almost do like a little test with yourself. And the test that you would do with yourself is, the gift would be, notice how someone responds to the gift when it's from that heartfelt place, versus notice how the person responds when it was just like the mindless gift, or it was from the ego, or it was like, oh, this looks expensive, I'll just buy this gift for this person, right? So you're going to notice the nuances. And also I invite you to do that really beautiful exercise that if someone compliments something, to practice non-attachment and to practice and really step into reciprocity. Reciprocity is one of the abundance codes, and that one's already been transmitted. To step into that even more, which means giving and receiving, it's actually this infinity loop. So when you give, you receive. And when you give, you don't necessarily receive from the same person. And your giving will impact someone else's life, but maybe someone else is going to give to you. So this is part of the cycles of abundance and giving and receiving. And see if you could, because non-attachment is one of the greatest spiritual principles and virtues. So I really invite you to step into it more and see if you can give away every single thing that some people compliment. They're like, oh, I love your jacket, I love your scarf, I love your shoes, they come to your house, they're like, wow, I love this mug, I love this. Gift it to them and see what happens. See how it lights them up. See how this gift would be a beautiful connection, a treasure that they'll always cherish and remember you by. So then you're like this beautiful light in their life through this object that you passed forward from that place of giving. I love this. This is what makes me so happy about this time of year. It's like an extra reason to give. And like I said, you don't have to give expensive things. You can just give what you have. You can make things. Really get into that spirit of giving from the heart. And that's it. Just give from there. And so with that, I send you so much love. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow. And big kiss to you. Bye for now.